Hello and welcome. My name is Helen and I'm here to talk to you about Northumbria University Library. The library isn't just a place with books, although we do have lots of books. It is here to provide you with a safe place to study, help with your studies, for example, finding books and other resources, academic writing and referencing, and yes, books and other resources such as journal articles to help you with your work. In this session, we will look at all of these areas. The library exists both as physical buildings and as an online space. You can visit one of our 4 library locations: City Campus Library, off the main City Campus quad; Law Practice Library on floor 1 of Business and Law Building at City Campus East; Digital Commons in Northumberland Building on City Campus; and Coach Lane Campus Library, just a few miles east of the city centre. City Campus Library and Digital Commons are open 24/7 during term time. Any Northumbria students and learners can visit any of our library locations. Just bear in mind that libraries tend to contain the books that support the courses taught on the relevant campus. For example, many of the books on the health and life sciences are at Coach Lane Library. You can find Coach Lane Library on the East Campus in F Block. There are 2 main entrances, one from the car park and one from the rear, as shown in these pictures. You can find the library gates opposite the cafe and next to Ask for Help. Remember that to enter any of our library locations, the first thing that you need is your smart card to swipe your way through the library gates. Once you're in the library, look for the board by the lift, which shows what facilities and learning and research spaces are available on each floor. The library spaces have been designed with students and learners in mind after listening to feedback. Whatever your learning style, there is a learning and research space available for you. For example, quiet and silent learning and research spaces are available, as well as collaborative and informal spaces. There are also bookable study rooms. These are your spaces, so please treat them and the other students and learners using them with respect. The library is a shared space for everyone. If there is something you would like to see changed, then please do let us know via Your Library, Your Say. The lifts and stairs shown here take you to the books and learning and research spaces. Just to mention, if the fire alarm goes off, please evacuate the building. Leave your belongings and leave via the nearest fire exit. Use the stairs, not the lift, to evacuate the building. If you want to take books home, then there are machines you can use to borrow and return books, all for free. Why not go explore the library the next time you're on campus? The first few weeks of term are a very good time to go, as there are lots of staff around to offer support. The books and other resources in the library are chosen in collaboration with tutors to ensure all the resources are relevant to your work. That isn't just the books on the shelves. You also have access to a huge range of ebooks, journal articles, and other online resources at University Library Online. In fact, whenever we buy a new physical book, we try to buy the ebook version as well. To access these, the best place to start is Library Search, which you can find at University Library Online. To access University Library Online, follow the link on your student portal. Alternatively, you can find it from Google or any search engine, simply by searching for Northumbria University Library, then clicking on the links to take you through. Let's search for a book on critical thinking skills. Just type what you want to look for in the search bar and click search. And there you go. Lots of books, journal articles, and other resources, all fully accessible from the library. You can use the filters on the left-hand side here to choose what resource type you would like to look for, and even filter by publication date. When you have found a resource you would like to access, you can click on the title to find all of its details. To find where it is on the shelf, Library Search gives you all of the information that you need. It tells you which library the book is in, which floor it can be found on, and the shelf mark, which you need to look for on the spine of the book on the shelf. You can also click on this Locate button. This brings up a map of the library floor, and you can see the shelf the book is on highlighted in red. There is a lot more to library search. Please explore, and if you need any help, click on the help link here or get in touch with us via Ask for Help. If you want more subject-specific online resources, such as newspaper archives or maps, then head to the Subject Resources list. If you want to know anything else about the library, head to the Information For menu. If you are struggling to use library search at any time, remember there is a help option just below the search bar. If that doesn't give you the answers you need, or you still can't find the book or resource that you are looking for, then please contact the library via Ask for Help. We are always happy to hear from you. If there are any resources you need for your work, but you cannot find on library search, you have a few options. Firstly, try to get in touch with us via Ask for Help. We are always happy to help. We may not be able to organise access to everything, but there are lots of ways we can organise access to resources for free, or we may be able to suggest alternatives. For example, we can organise an interlibrary loan, where we borrow the book or other resource from another library and then pass it on to you for free. Additionally, as a Northumbria student or learner, you have access to Newcastle University libraries. If you are away for the holidays but need to read a book or do some work, you can access other university libraries around the country through the Scornell Access Scheme. The instructions are on University Library Online under Using Other Libraries. Another way to find resources relevant to your course is through the module reading lists. These are lists of resources created by your module tutor. They should be linked from your module Blackboard site. Alternatively, you can access them at University Library Online. If you are a distance learner, a work-based learner, part-time learner, or student who is on a placement for more than 6 weeks, then you are eligible for our worldwide book postal service for books and journal articles. Books can be brought back in person or posted back to the library using recorded delivery. You will have to meet the cost of the return postage. Please see University Library Online for details of this service. Ask for Help can answer any questions. If you find accessing the library a challenge, please do get in touch with the library via Ask for Help to see what we can do to help you. If you have a disability, you might also be eligible for a range of support, including borrowing books for longer, home delivery of books via the book postal service, having someone borrow books on your behalf, a personal orientation tour of the library, one-to-one learning skills sessions, or alternative formats of resources. You can access this support through the Student Accessibility Team, who are there to help disabled students and learners with all aspects of teaching, learning, and assessment. Get in touch with them through Ask for Help. If you have any general questions about the library and you can't find the answer at University Library Online, then please contact Ask for Help via your student portal, 24/7 during term time. Or come to the desk outside of City Campus Library entrance gates in Student Central, at Coach Lane Library, or the Law Practice Library. Ask for Help provides support and advice on using the library, as well as aspects of university life, including accommodation, finance, welfare, and course information. For latest updates on opening hours, new resources, learning skills sessions, and more, you can follow us on social media. You can also keep an eye on our blog, Library News, for library updates. Additionally, there are notice boards, digital screens, and signs around the library. Finally, a word on how the library can help you with your learning skills, such as academic writing, referencing, and finding information for your assessments. There are taught sessions, both online and in person. There are also regular drop-ins for skills support, Monday to Thursday, remotely and on campus. There's no need to make an appointment. There is also Skills Plus, which is our online set of learning skills guides, taking you through the essentials you need to start studying and completing assessments. You can find out more about the help available from the big blue Develop Your Learning Skills banner. What to do next? You can take a photo of this checklist and use it to guide your next steps. You can head over to the library when you're next on campus and borrow a book or take a selfie. We know you'll be very busy in your first week, but in the coming weeks we are offering library tours, and it will give you the chance to see in person what the library looks like. If you can't get onto campus, then why not visit University Library online, book a learning skills session, or follow us on social media to keep up to date with what the library has to offer. Thank you for listening.